is the Kathryn Dunn Show. Please welcome, we've got Matt Capazzi. Frank Yappa's with us today, introducing Gio, or Giovanni Vargas. We'll see how he decides to go. And we've got Bull and myself. That's us. That's the Kathryn Dunn Show. How is everyone? Hello.
Great. How are you?
Great. And not so great. No, I'm just kidding. It's not so great. But guess what time it is?
Wine and Whisper, Light ASMR.
Where we bring you light ASMR and all of our complaints. So, I'm gonna give you... Gio, you've never been here before. What we're about to do is you have to guess what I'm ingesting based on how it sounds. Any guesses? No, nobody wants to guess what I'm ingesting.
It's a.
You're shouting.
It's a 1682 Malbec.
You're shouting.
Okay.
It's ice cream.
It's a Miller High Life. Miller High Life. Oh, okay. Maybe
You're
not.
right. It is a Miller High Life. It's basically the beer of dessert. It is ice cream. It's an ice cream bar. Normally this is the part where we whine and whisper, but I got a mouthful of ice cream. So is there anything you guys want to complain about?
My microphone isn't working great, apparently.
Or it's working amazing if you're a fan of reverb.
I like reverb. I don't know how to fix it though.
You know, there were some episodes of the Smurfs where the Smurfs sounded like your microphone. It was like there was like an echo. So it's kind of cool. It kind of brings me back to like Papa Smurf.
That's good. It's funny because I can hear myself in my ears and I don't hear it. So I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm double mic'd in here, but so, you know, technology is a complaint that things should just work, especially, you know, relatively simple kind of studio gear. But hey,
Yeah.
live and learn.
Are you secretly
You
Papa
know,
Smurf?
that's a good. Sometimes technology simplifies things, and sometimes technology complicates things. Like I'm starting to use this. Oh shoot, I forget what it's called, but it's something where it's like you find out where you can get money back when you get gas. Like, and I don't know. I kind of like the simplicity of just going to get gas, and now it's like this whole extra thing of just like, oh, okay, now I have to do this extra step.
Yeah.
So I'm slowly becoming more casual about it and not making as big a deal about it. But at first it was just like, okay, now I have to go here. And usually it's just like, I'll step out of my car, I'll put my card in the machine, and then I put the gas in my car, and then I get in my car, go.
That's the truth, man. Always another step now.
Cars of the future will read your retina and then drive for you.
Sometimes I feel like this, and sometimes I sound like a machine on a game show.
Are you?
The whammies, the whammy one. Sound like the whammy board.
What exactly does the whammy board sound like?
Just like Matt. Just
That was riveting. Now it's time for... where we all, you know, talk shit about our pets. What have your animals been up to?
My future pet crow and my future pet German Shepherd are training. My crow's brain is growing. It's going to be really smart. It's going to bring me things. and my future German Shepherd's going to be the most loyal protector in history.
Have you begun establishing relationships with your local crows?
Don't eat them.
I always have relationships with crows.
Your German Shepherd is from the future?
Both of my pets are in the future. Yes.
Oh my God, that's insane.
Doc Brown is
pretty
watching
wild.
them.
He is, and he's annoyed.
That guy, if you think about it, he's kind of a sociopath. He had a dog named Copernicus, right? And he was like sending Copernicus on all of these little experiments. And then years later, he had Einstein. Does anybody want to know what happened to Darwin? Because I think what? No, I think that he named his dogs in alphabetical order, and that he just like progressively killed them on experiments.
Was it alphabetical order or chronological order of their existence?
Ooh.
He just skipped. He didn't do Darwin.
Well,
You know, I think Doc Brown went through time, and he turned Copernicus into a dog, and then he turned Einstein into a dog, and he brought them back as his pets. He was that much of an egomaniac.
that's
a
brilliant.
lot more science than just time travel. That's crazy.
That's exactly what he would do because of his ego. Like, I could see him doing that. It's so smart. Like, oh, you're so smart. You're so smart. You're my fucking dog.
Or is it because his dog got renamed because of events that transpired when Marty goes back to 1955?
Whoa.
Because that's probably what happened. Because the Twin Pine Mall ended up being the Single Pine Mall because they ran over one of the pines. So there's a good chance that Einstein was never, he was always Einstein. Maybe he got the dog later or earlier. I don't know.
All right. We'll return to this next week, guys. We want to hear your thoughts. It's very important stuff. Now, tell me about mozzarella.
Mozzarella's good. She's got a little, she's been really good. She's really, we had a like a Christmas party last night with some people over, and our plan was to, put her in her room and let her just kind of chill out for the night. But she stuck out and hung out with everybody and was just giving all sorts of love to everybody and really well behaved. So it was kind of cool. We had like 13 people over, and she was good. A little stressed out by the end of the night, I think, but yeah, it was kind of good. So she's just chugging along, being her cute little self, and yeah, just still benching. She's benching 450 now, I think. So and she can deadlift about 700, which is great.
Girl.
She's really
Did people give her treats?
yeah, we give some. Yeah, I handed out a few treats to give out, and then of course, there's party food that's being mysteriously dropped, and mozzarella was eating her fair amount of cheese and crackers and whatnot. So
I'm a monster. I get very mad at humans who give my dog like snacks.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't know. I'm sure someone else said this, but I should just bottle up that poo and like give it to them. Like, here, this is yours. You made this.
Yeah. Yeah, mozzarella gets a fair amount of people food, but we're really cautious with what we give her. And I think the tricky thing with me is like some people who don't really know, they just like, oh yeah, here, have this. It's like, this got like garlic in it. Like, don't give that to my dog. So,
yeah, there's so many things.
Yeah.
And then there are just things that are straight up poison. So please
Right.
Google all of those things before you go handing out animal treats. Like, yes, the dog will like you, but you also might kill the dog, so the people will hate you. So think on that, humans. Yeah. That's my PSA to the world. How is Mitzi?
She's good. The last time I went to the vet, they noticed that she had some dandruff. So I bought this kind of, I guess, medicine that I add to her food. So she's that's like a small thing, but she's doing well. Chills Mills. Just like kind of. She hasn't been going up to the windowsill lately. She's kind of like happy on the DL. Like chilling on the floor, not asking for more. You know what time it is.
Oh, nice. She's sneaking on the low instead of straight up in
yeah.
your face. That's so cute. Good Mitzi. I just learned this week or recently that you can, you know how when you go to the vet, it's always expensive to buy whatever drugs they need, and then you're like, where am I going to get them? I have to buy them. But then you can also buy them online for cheaper. But here's a new thing that I learned that may or may not be true. I learned it on like some TikTok. And I also kind of did it myself, but didn't realize that I was doing a life hack so much as we just had this, like my cat was prescribed allergy medicine and then other stuff that we were already taking. So it's like, okay, let's just give that to the animals instead of paying the extra for the vet. But you can have a vet call the prescription in for you.
Oh,
In theory. So look into it. It might be true in your area. I don't know if it's true everywhere, but it's definitely like something to check because then it would be whatever your copay or whatever allowance is on medicine. I don't know. I think that's all on the up and up, but look into it because I just learned this on TikTok. It may not be true, people, but it could be. So, you know.
I found a website called Chewy.com. I think I bought two medications, and one of the websites was Chewy.com, and I got it in like 2 days. And because like when I was at the vet, they like, you know, it's a lot of stuff happening fast. So I just like started taking pictures, and I was just like, okay, what is that? Okay, freeze. And then I got a picture of it, and so that kind of, you know, and then a couple days later, I ordered the stuff. But Chewy.com is one place that I went for medicine. So
Yeah, Chewy is good. We use Chewy all the time, pretty much all the time. There was times where I was like, I don't know about this, but like whatever. They were going through a pandemic too, so they're pretty good about a lot of things. I recommend even just doing auto ship for everything your cat needs. Yeah, I just do that, and I actually ordered some recently, and it should come here. I thought it would be here sooner, but that's only because I was late in ordering it, not because they're late in getting it to me. So I even like tried other things when I was like, I don't know about Chewy anymore. And then I went back because all of the other things were significantly worse. So it's kind of great. And my grandmother even gets it delivered to her on a regular auto ship thing. So it all works. She doesn't have to like go and do that annoying thing in person where you're like, do they have the thing? They have the thing. They sent it to you. It's lovely. And let's see. My cat is a globber monster. Nothing is new. Tony likes to drool out of her face. And I have been using her as like a cat catometer, whatever you want to call it, where, you know, I will look at what position she's in to decide how cold it is. It's still working. It still holds up. And Trixie's adorable, but I'm pretty sure she stole and hid her nail file. Obviously, I didn't misplace it because I don't do that with everything all the time. No. So obviously Trixie has hidden her nail clippers, the things that she hates the most.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll have to get to the bottom of this. It's not really her fault. And now let's move on to...
Oh, what about Gio?
What about me? You want to talk about my pet?
We did already, but let's talk about your future crows and your future German Shepherd instead of the segment that I'm queuing. Thank you, Bull.
Okay. Yeah. I've
I apologize.
No. It's fine. You are obviously looking at internet tits instead of listening to the show.
No, I was getting YouTube going on this other phone so I could see if it was... Go on. Sorry.
All right.
Didn't mean to interrupt your show.
No. This is a show of interruptions. No. Right now, I just wanted to talk about some uplifting animal news. There is a woman who has a pit rescue in, I'm not sure, but maybe Jersey. I'm going with it's Jersey. I've put it on the Kathryn Dunn show on Facebook, and we're in uplifting animal news, everybody. She like did this thing where she had snacks out. She's a goddess. She had snacks out for all of the people who bring her Amazon packages. And then one day, like a bunch of different animals, but one particular fox came and was like, oh, I'm going to steal some food. And now she like noticed on her Ring cam or whatever that this fox had like mange. So she gave it ivermectin, which is not something you treat COVID with. It is something for animals. And apparently it fixes mange. What?
For mange?
Yeah,
apparently. I thought it was for heartworm.
Maybe it helps for both. I don't know anything about ivermectin, really. I just know that she gave it to this wolf or fox rather, and then the fox like got better, so she pretty much saved this fox's life, and she has a pit rescue. And I wish I knew the name of it. Bull, if you want to look on Facebook, I just posted it, and I think it's Pit Rescue or something like that. We will have more information on that. Does anybody else have any uplifting animal news from the week?
This isn't from the week, but this is something that I forgot to mention, and I haven't been on in a while. So the long week between my Kathryn Dunn show appearances, I saw this guy, and this is like a plug, but I thought what he was doing was cool. He's called Ropes for Rescues. He's based in San Francisco. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he makes just like dog leashes and stuff like that out of old climbers ropes from like famous like rock climbers and stuff like that. So people who are well known in the rock climbing industry. I'm not a rock climber and don't know anybody, but like still cool. So you get these really old like vintage ropes on some of them, and then you get some really new like just used ropes, and then some of the proceeds go to shelters and stuff like that. And so it's a cool thing. But if you need a dog leash, you should check that out. Ropes for Rescues. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but I did think it was cool, and it's sort of uplifting just to see those kind of companies doing their thing. Anyway,
that's amazing. How does he know that? Like, how does he acquire famous ropes?
The people donate them. I think he's not even. And I talked to him. I think he's more passionate about the dog side of things than he is climbing. But I think he knew someone who was a climber, and I mean, I met him once. Just at his like farmers market thing, and he was like, he met someone I think and had the ropes and made them into dog leashes. They're really cool too. They're really simple, but they're pretty practical and different colors. If you ever see climbers ropes, they're always kind of wacky colors. But then some of the vintage ones were really cool too. So, and I think each of them would come with like a story of what the rope, where it climbed and what it was and stuff like that. So there's kind of like a cool history of utilizing some products that are no good for climbing mountains anymore, but and helping out dogs and stuff. So yeah, cool. Check them out. They're on Instagram. I think they have a website too. But
what are they called again?
Ropes for Rescues.
Nice. That's so cute. Does anybody else have any uplifting animal news from the week? No? Okay.
It's the winter, so all the birds have migrated south. So I bet they're on the beach and drinking tequila.
That is uplifting. That's very uplifting to think that all the birds that were here pooping on stuff, and I'm not knocking it, like I am here for it, are, off on their own, drinking tequila. They're having their Mai Tais and all the other tropical drinks on a nice warm beach. Good for you, birds. Maybe one day you'll be in Bagel the Musical. I thought that might summon Elaine. We'll see. But in the meantime, let's move on to... where we get to know Frank Gabba, our guest. Yes, if you don't know, now you know. Let's ask. How are you? How's everything? What's new? Have you written stuff? What are you working on?
Okay, so I got a new song that I'm going to play for you guys tonight. There was supposed to be, this is going to come out. The plan is to have it released this year yet. So it'll probably be around Christmas time, a little before, a little after. But I got first full band song since Clown Shoes coming out. So that'll drop on Spotify and iTunes stuff. Date TBD, but hopefully in the next few weeks. And so that's going to come out, and really excited about how that's turning out. Full band's together now. I got a little trio, and we're starting to work on stuff. But we actually just cut some of this song. Spent a few hours working on it not too long ago. So this is like the freshest, newest Frank Zappa song, which it feels really good. So I'm excited about it. That's kind of what's been going. But other than that, shows have been sort of slow. And yeah, just been kind of chugging along, trying to write and record and keep at it. So
how's the weather in Milwaukee?
Drizzly. It's been a rainy kind of sleety time of year and sort of miserable, but overall not too bad. Like mid 30s. Not warm, but not.
Brew City,
yeah, man. Brew City, Cream City, all the different drinkable things.
What's it called?
The new song. All right, we're gonna do it now. Sorry about the echo.
No,
it's
you're
called
good.
Private. called Private Party. Here we go. Can you hear my guitar?
Ooh.
How good on the sounds?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. It's called Private Party. It's brand new. There's a private party on your way home. Invite only, no cover at the door. And they play your favorite songs on repeat. There's a secret show underground. Dancers and singers all around. Intermission comes too soon. Are you happy to be home by now? Find your keys, take your headphones down. The party's over. Once you're in, you're in. There's a members club by the train. You show your card, but still wait. And the doors will open soon as you go. Are you happy to be home by now? Find your keys, take your headphones down. The party's over. Once you're in, you're in. Are you happy to be home by now? Find your keys, take your headphones down. The party's over. Once you're in, you're in. It's opening night for a new show. They got your ticket, how they will go. Are you tired of missing out? Or are you happy to be home by now? Thanks. I hope the echo wasn't too distracting, or maybe it was really hard to hear, but
No, it
it
works.
worked out killer.
Yeah, it works for the song for sure.
awesome.
That's beautiful stuff, man.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm excited about it. It sounds, it's a cool one with a full band. I haven't completely, it's just been really fun to work on it. I'm excited to get it done. We started recording this other song first, and then I started doing this one. And I was, it's kind of one of those things, like the newer art project is always more exciting than the one you're kind of been dragging out a little bit. So it's, but yeah, we'll hopefully this coming single will be out soon, and we'll kind of ramp up from there and get things moving and get some more stuff out. And the plan is an album in the next year. I said that last year, but life got in the way. So, but yeah, we'll just keep. We're ramping up now, so it's pretty exciting. Thanks for listening.
No, thank you. Thank you for sharing it. It was great.
All right.
Yes.
And now let's play a game.
Ooh, that reminds me.
where we start with one word and then we all just say what that reminds us of. We're not going to have conversations. We're not going to like reference media, but we are going to say a thing that happened to us. The word to get started is private party. It's 2 words, but that's the word to get started. That's the word of the day. All right, private party makes me think of this time that I went to some strange thing, and I don't know who they were, so I'm just going to say it was Karl Lagerfeld. It wasn't, but that was the vibe. And then like this Playboy bunny dressed guy named Steven, and I don't even know what he was wearing, but I think he dressed like a Playboy bunny, maybe with like a harness or whatever, like a cincher, corset rather. And all I remember was like, I'm Steven. I'm Steven. And I'll never forget that. It's so random, but I'll never forget this guy.
It kind of reminds me of a dark story, unfortunately. Whatever, long story short, I was a security guard for a little while, and a bunch of the security guards had a private party, which was really a bunch of losers, and they wanted some girl to strip. It was terrible. It was really bad. But I'm glad at least that my conscience was active, and I probably interrupted things because I was like legitimately treating this girl with respect, and she was like, and she, I mean, unfortunately or fortunately, she started crying, but but it might have stopped things, and it might have made her think differently. I don't know, but so there's light in this dark story, but yeah, that was the private party that I was invited to. No, nowhere near as sweet.
I have questions. I know that that's not the game, but like, what did you say to her? And like, what did you like? Did what you say lead to her crying?
I honestly, the saddest part of it all is I just took it at face value. They told me there was a stripper, and I tipped her, and I treated her with respect, and that was too much. She couldn't handle it, and it led me to believe that maybe it wasn't just a stripper, you know. But I didn't stick around to see where else the party was going to go. She had to stop what she was doing after my apparent treating her with respect, and she went to the bathroom or whatever, and I was like, okay, I think that's good for me. So.
Interesting moment on the music too. I feel like it punctuated the story. Well, I hope dancer or sex worker, if you're out there, I hope you're feeling better now. Sorry you cried, but I hope everything's okay. That reminds me. And now it's time for
What now?
where we bring you a completely random and anonymous couple's gripes and have you settle them. Remember, there's no right or wrong, and you don't know who said what. Yeah, that's all. It's just, but like, if somebody was right, who would it be? Bull, do you have any of our reader mail to read?
Nice try. No comment.
Wow. Okay. I don't know. I've still got the butter question, but like that was settled. But now there's new people here, so I'll ask it again. Partner 1 brings partner 2 a slab of butter, like a little tiny sliver of butter, and it looks kind of like either a
I think
shaving...
it was more like a sliver, just like a sliver, just a tiny piece of a corner of...
Right. This was heavily described in our viewer mail. And it's like a sliver or shaving of butter. It's like a little piece of like it looks like a little piece of cheese or tofu, and then they hand it to a person like, here, eat this, without any context. Is that appropriate?
Oh no, I think that person told the other person what it was.
Nope. Nope.
I think that person was aware.
If I remember the letter correctly, I'm pretty sure that the one person was on the phone with somebody, and then the other person came out and was like,
that other
"Here."
person wasn't blindfolded. What was that?
No,
Was
they
the
were
other
not
person? Oh,
blindfolded, but they were
so
given
the
the
other person
food
wasn't
blind.
aware. The other person saw what was coming, right, and grabbed it. Correct.
Right, because it looked like, from what I remember from the letter that our completely anonymous and random viewers sent, it looked like a piece of chocolate, like white chocolate, or like a piece of tofu, because that may have been in the kitchen, or like a piece of cheese, but they didn't really understand where the feta came from.
Would this have been a debate? Is the debate here the issue of whether it's vegan or not? Maybe because this couple might have a vegan in it. Or
No.
You must have watched the episode where we first read this.
No, I remember a debate between this same couple, I think, about a burger issue like a year ago.
Oh God, so many.
Burger
so
King.
many. These people have so many problems. But I think they were trying out a new butter, and because it was real butter instead of plant-based, the other person was wanting the other person to try a sample of this, see what and it tasted. I think they said it tasted pretty good, but go on. Tell your story.
I don't believe they did.
Here's my take on this. I'm a practical joker and a prankster, and I think that if it's someone that you care about, and this is a couple we're talking about, so I feel like there's some love there, that pranking the other person to eat something they don't want to eat is classic and hilarious. So I know there's some moral ground there. But it's like, hey, try this. It's not spicy. When someone can't handle spicy, I feel like that's a love.
Yeah, that is cool. And I think these couple are the one other partner is like totally. I think she'll stab you if you do any kind of prank. So no, or as it could be the guy. It's
lesson learned. Then I suppose.
Yeah. So no, there's no pranks in this relationship.
Oh my god. I like that you mentioned stabbing, because last week's episode, which wasn't last week, I don't think, but it may have been, we did talk about stabbing a lot. Oh man.
Could this be the same person?
No, obviously it's not, because this is a random and completely anonymous viewer from Viewer Mail. What?
Always completely anonymous, always.
Right, yeah. And again, there's no right or wrong. But so basically what you're saying is that was only in the context of a prank does it make sense to feed a mostly like vegan-leaning human, but that's not even the issue. A slab of butter, a sliver of butter.
But it wasn't a slab. See, there's a difference between a slab.
Like, butter is one of my favorite foods. So,
Can you eat it? Like raw?
Well, yeah,
you can. Yeah, and you could taste it as a sample. I think that's what this other person was trying to get
really good
across.
Butter out there. I mean,
exactly.
Like for sure, 100%.
Thank you.
Well, from what I remember from the letter, this was not that. It was not very good butter.
We should taste things as like as they're meant to. It's easy to buy butter and like cook with it, or vegan butter and cook with it. But then try something and taste it for what it is, vegan or not. I think it's important so you can get like an idea of like, all right, this is what it tastes like. And
so the butter this couple normally uses is a vegan butter that's not really tasty, but
you guys know a lot about this couple. I hope they're watching. Say, hey, listen, couple watching. It's okay.
Yeah, I think
don't
we'll get
stab
a
him. Don't stab Bull. I mean, whoever.
Well, I liked our answers last week better because they were anti-butter.
Well, because they were one-sided.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah, I think it was one-sided. Yeah.
That's what you should call this segment. I can't believe it's not butter.
Got it. That's the new name. I will say that from what I've experienced in the plant-based butter world, it's better. It's better than butter. So if you're thinking of switching, please switch. Also, unrelated, but we did just find an egg company that gives you video of the egg farm that your eggs come from. I don't like to eat eggs, but someone else does, so we do. But that is interesting. I don't think it's real. I think it's like false advertising, but maybe one day you'll be able to actually see the eggs.
The eggs are great.
They are.
I mean, the yolks are so orange. They're not like pale yellow. They're really
That's good.
rich eggs. Yeah.
We were fortunate enough to live next to or my brother-in-law when we lived in Minnesota.
Starbucks is gonna close.
Can you go
really?
outside and be on, or?
It's my source of internet today, but
Oh.
I will I will definitely be on the next time with better arrangements.
Gio, thank you so much. Are you pro butter, anti butter in that story? Who's right? Who's wrong?
I use regular animal butter. I'm very sorry, Kathryn.
Oh, it's not about me.
I put butter in my coffee every morning. I use animal products. I believe that I'm gonna be distributed back to the earth when I die, and that's the contract.
Okay. And on that positive note, thank you for coming, and I hope to see you next
But I
week.
do wish all farms are ethical.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay. Love you guys. You guys have a good night.
Love
Have
you.
a good night, you.
Great music, Frank. Thank you for that.
Thanks, man.
It's true. And now. Does anybody have any conspiracies that they want to talk about?
Oh man. I did have a good one a few weeks ago, but can't remember it. Mustn't have been that good.
No, it was great, but the man stole it from you because they didn't want you talking about it. That's the conspiracy.
Yes. There it is.
I also had one, and I can't remember it. But I will say this. I find it odd that remakes will happen and then somebody from the original will die, almost in a way that makes me think, like, are they trying to plug it with this weird sort of death marketing? I don't think it's a thing, but it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had
Agreed.
specific examples, but I don't right now.
Yeah.
But it could be a thing.
We had a discussion about Michael Jackson at work the other day, and this isn't so much a conspiracy as it is just kind of, it's sort of, I mean, he was thought of, some creepy stuff. And we were talking about his relationship with Macaulay Culkin and how their friendship was probably perceived as pretty strange. A grown man hanging out with like a young actor boy. But what if it was like a totally like, maybe Michael Jackson just was a really nice guy, like my grandma loved to play with me when I was a kid. Like my grandparents, like they were great at like, hey, let's play with these toys and like hang out. But that's not weird because it's your grandparents. But it's weird if it would have been Michael Jackson. That would have been kind of strange, right? I don't know. It's just like we were thinking, like maybe all this about Michael Jackson being weird wasn't really that weird. Like maybe, but I don't know. I don't know what's actually proven about him or not. But so
yeah, I don't know about. I know that there's like, okay, so there's the one version of it where he never got a childhood, and for this reason he liked kids. And then like there's a story where he went on a date with Madonna and he giggled like a little kid, so he was asexual essentially, kind of a thing. So that's one version. Then the other version is that he had like a creepy room with creepy stairs that would play music when you were going into the secret room where he spent time with these kids.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like that could be like the weirdest. Yeah, like for sure. Like if he's creepy, like I completely like bad, Michael Jackson. But yeah, it was just kind of interesting to think about. Like if you had a grown person that's not, that was hanging out with kids, but in just a very like nurturing and like, I want to hang with you because I never got a childhood way. That would be perceived as weird, I think, to an adult. And then you'd think creepily, probably obvious, like right away, you'd be like, oh, why are you hanging out with my kid? That's weird. But I don't know. It's not a conspiracy, just kind of like, who knows, really?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Definitely. Who knows? I know that I didn't even see the thing, but I know that the people's stories were very similar. So on the one hand, people are like, it's conspiracy because they're linking their stories up. But on the other hand, predators kind of do the same thing. They kind of find a thing and then they do it.
Yeah. Right. So yeah.
And a lot of predators will do a thing that seems so crazy that when you tell people this thing happened, it sounds so crazy. It's unbelievable. People won't believe you. It discredits the victim just by the absurdity. So
Right.
who knows? I don't know. I'd like to think that he's not like that, but I don't know why all these people would be lying about him. And then it's not like he was found not guilty. I don't remember, but I think it's not like he was found not guilty. It was more like a settled out of court. Now, on the one hand, it could be like just easier to just get this out of the way and not really focus on it. And then other things will come out through the course of a court case where he was a private person. So maybe for completely legitimate privacy reasons, he settled, or for completely guilty reasons, he settled. I don't know.
Right. Same with like the Bob Dylan thing that happened a few months ago or a year ago, where like he had some stuff come up and it was like all of a sudden it just stopped. It was like everybody, and whether he paid him off or settled or whatever, it's like it's kind of interesting the way that money can talk in that way to some extent, or shut people up, or silence things. And I don't really blame people if they're like, I'm bringing this up because it happened to me and it's a real thing that I want justice for, and then they get paid out $2 million and they're like, yeah, he doesn't go to jail and whatever, I got $2 million. Like, I don't know, I don't think that's if that's what you feel okay about, like, that's fine. But I remember the Bob Dylan thing seemed like surface, and it was like, oh, but it's Bob Dylan, like we got to shut this up really quick because everybody loves Bob Dylan. I always felt that was, I don't know enough about it, obviously, because it wasn't a very big thing, but it did seem a bit. And I know it was like a hard, like, back in the 60s, bringing up today, 50 some years later, whatever, that is challenging, I'm sure, with a lot of things behind it. But it was just like it just got evaporated. And it was like, all this stuff is sort of fascinating to me. But tangent, my bad.
Oh no, I definitely have to look into this Bob Dylan thing. I didn't even know about it, but it did suddenly remind me of Billy Murray. Bill Murray.
Oh, what happened to him? I don't know.
So recently, this is not that bad, but basically Seth Green said that he was asked, like, who's the rudest celebrity or whatever you've ever worked with, or like, something to that effect. I can't remember exactly. And he basically brought up an incident where he was, I want to say 9. I could be wrong, but I want to say 9. And he was at SNL. I don't know why. But he was at SNL like studios. I think he was hosting or something. I don't know, because I don't remember him being that like famous as a kid, but I know he did stuff. Anyway, maybe he was, I don't know. Anyway, he's at SNL. He's sitting in a chair. Bill Murray comes over and he's like, that's my chair. And I don't know what happens next or how long it took Seth Green to like not get out of the chair or whatever. But Bill Murray picks up this child, really, holds him, I want to say head first, like upside down, but I don't know. It could be feet first. But at any rate, he held him above a garbage and put him in the garbage, saying the trash goes with the trash or in the trash or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he's 9. So this is not cute to him. It's not funny to him. It's actually traumatic to him. He then goes into his dressing room and cries. I then think he said he didn't even want to do the show, but like other adults that did the show came in and were like, hey man, what's up, kind of a thing. You okay? But again, Google all of that because I might have some of the details wrong. But then around the same time that this was like leaking, and this is recently, other things about Bill Murray being inappropriate came out.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I don't know if any of that's true yet because I haven't heard any of the, like, I haven't looked into the details, but it is interesting. And then it is interesting if you think about Bill Murray and the lore of Bill Murray being no one's ever going to believe you. You know those stories?
Yeah, right.
And that always kind of gave me like a little like feeling like, on the one hand, I love him and I want to love him and I want him to be a good guy. On the other hand, he does look like a predator I know in real life, but also just hearing that, always felt weird to me. Like, no one's ever going to believe you. Well, if he thinks that about this, then he must think that about other things. And how far does that ideology go for him?
Right. Yeah. Or does he use that as like a tool to, no one's ever going to believe you, like whatever else he can. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't hear about that Seth Green story. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, it's kind of strange. I think it's unfortunate that there's that. I mean, and I think moving forward, it's like all these things from back in the day when there wasn't like cell phones and everything, and people weren't like social mediaing every instant of their life. I think it's gonna hopefully help. And I mean, there's a lot of negative social media, but I feel like there's a little bit more of this like, hey, we gotta be good people moving forward, because you don't know. I mean, if you're gonna be a dickhead on on set somewhere, like that's not gonna fly. Like something's gonna happen. Like people are gonna know immediately. It's not gonna take 50 years for this to come out, or 20 years or whatever. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't really know. I mean, we all make mistakes, and we should learn from them, grow and stuff like that. But yeah, that's tricky. Interesting. These are more deep conspiracies than they are like.
Yeah.
We're getting thoughtful here.
It's more thoughtful than it is conspiratorial. Yeah.
It's interesting.
What?
It's interesting, and it's good to talk about, I think. And I feel bad for anybody. Like, I mean, I feel bad in some hands and some other, but like, celebrities have their whole life is just plastered on. Everybody knows about everything, and it's like, who knows? Maybe he put him in a garbage can. Maybe it was a really bad thing that he did at the time, but maybe he realized that right away, and we'll never know that. He might have been like, oh fuck, why did I do that? But I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know if that's the thing he thinks about literally every night, and it's like giving him trouble sleeping. Who knows? Like that one time I was bad to a kid, or that habitual thing I did to children. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Seth Green's the little orange-haired guy, right?
Yeah, Robot Chicken, Family Guy. Can't Hardly Wait, maybe?
Was he Without a Paddle?
Yes, he was in that. I don't know if I've seen it. I get it, but I don't know if I've seen it.
It's dumb, but you should watch. I mean, I'm not going to say you should watch it. You don't need to watch it.
No, I think I need to watch it just to be like, yeah, it was like Hot Tub Time Machine, right? And then I'll either know or I won't.
I think it's just a wilderness adventure. It's dumb.
Yeah, Dax Shepard, isn't it, right?
Yeah, and the guy who played Shaggy in Scooby-Doo.
Matthew Lillard.
He's from Scream.
Oh, yes. And SLC Punk or whatever.
Oh, yeah. And he's actually in quite a few different things. I saw something recently where they took the Scooby-Doo cast and they showed them now, and they're like, this would be a really badass movie. Like if they redid Scooby-Doo like with them again as like older people, and I was like, yeah, that would be pretty cool.
I'd like to see that. It'd be like, does Shaggy turn into the Scream guy though? Like, does he turn, or is he just older?
Yeah, he's pretty, yeah.
And now for
on this day in history, nothing was solved.
with Matka Pazzi. Are you muted?
Yep. On this day in history, Apollo 17 astronauts Eugene Cernan and Harrison Schmitt became the last humans to walk on the moon. And nothing was solved on this day in 1972.
Would you believe these guys walked on the moon? They actually survived, though? That was that one?
Believe.
Okay. I thought you said Apollo, and I was like, whoops. Did you, speaking of conspiracies, rewinding back for a moment, do you know the thing where Jim Carrey, Paul Giamatti, and, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger on Google were kind of, like, either switched or missing?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, there was this thing where Jim Carrey was replaced by Paul Giamatti in all of his roles. So if you looked up Google, if you Googled The Mask, you would see Paul Giamatti as the guy. And every single role that Jim Carrey ever did, even the obscure ones, was Paul Giamatti. If you looked at Jim Carrey or Paul Giamatti, it would take you to Jim Carrey, where Paul Giamatti's picture was the first picture and then Jim Carrey. So that was interesting. Then if you looked at Paul Giamatti, any role he did didn't exist. You look up American Splendor, doesn't exist. You look up Sideways, doesn't exist. His character, not the movie, just his character. So that was weird. But the thing that I want to figure out, and if anybody's watching this, and if you please just give me an answer to this, while all this was going on, if you looked at Arnold Schwarzenegger, his roles never existed. Which, if the Paul Giamatti thing translates to this, that means that he was probably replacing someone else in the world. Yeah. But I couldn't figure out who. And then by the time somebody said Eraser, it was already switched back. So I feel like the answer is there, but I could be wrong because I tried everybody, like Tracy Morgan, Eddie Murphy, Danny DeVito, like everyone, other people, like Linda Hamilton, like it didn't matter. Oh, the guy who played not the T-1000, is it the T-1000? The melty Terminator thing.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I couldn't find it. I couldn't figure it out. I looked. I wonder.
You should do that website thing where you can go back and look at website data from, I forget what the site's
the
called.
Wayback Machine, I think.
Yeah, the Wayback Machine. Can you try that and see if you can go back to when it happened and just keep digging?
You're a genius. Also, I think the Wayback Machine will somehow lead to time travel. So let's figure out how to use it for time travel.
Yeah.
All right. This has been the Kathryn Dunn Show. You've all been amazing. Frank, is there anything you want to tell everybody about everything and how to plug you? Or how to find you?
Yeah. Spotify, Frank Kappa, music will be coming there soon. Follow me on Bandcamp. Instagram's great. That's where I post most things. So at frank.kappa. I got a really bad number. I have 666 followers right now, which isn't a lot. So help me get to that 7. But yeah, and new music's gonna come. And then if you're looking for a guitar or musical instrument, I do work at Distinctive Guitar. So feel free to hit me up and I can help you out. And if you're looking for some nice gear, I'll help you there. But yeah, thanks for having me as always. It's been really fun, and hopefully we can figure out a release little show here to do something to promote the upcoming single.
That would be amazing. Also, happy birthday, Frank Yappa!
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
1 year older. I roll it back every year, but I think you go in the forward motion, right?
I do the traditional. Yeah, it's just who I am.
Yeah, that's cute of you. It's old fashioned. It's nice.
Yeah, I like it. It's great.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm winning. I'm getting older and older. I keep getting better.
Higher score every year.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of these days I'll be 50. It's gonna be awesome. Hopefully not for a long time.
I don't think I will, but if I am, it's when I'm like 150, and then I'll be like, I'm 50.
Finally 50.
Yeah. I'll look like Yoda, you know.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, what do you do for your skin? You don't want to know. But I'll tell you, it's vegan.
And then Bull will be like, no, it's not.
It's butter. It's actual butter.
It hasn't been vegan for 300 years.
Yeah.
And then I get like really angry because he's been feeding me plant-based actual butter.
You're the longest living person in the world because you've been eating regular butter.
Yeah.
Wait, is that somehow the secret to longevity? It's not. Be vegan, everyone.
Well, we'll find out in
Yeah.
100 years.
We're going to do an experiment and see if I can live forever by not consuming butter. Check us out next week to see if I'm still alive.
Oh, I've been accused of everything. Yeah, so it's a sore subject.
Like what?
Yeah.
What have you been accused of?
Poisoning your food. What's in this? Why does this taste like this? Why is this color? Shall I go on?
I like that you said poisoning first, which is obviously a confession that you do poison my food, because I really just ask what's in this, and you're like, what do you think? I poisoned you? It's like, well, now
All
I
of it.
do. I just wanted to know if that was cilantro. Like, what?
Yeah.
So I guess like stabbies versus poisons. I don't know. It's something. I do want to say that I'm very sad to hear that Debbie, the adorable, she's not a sheep. I think she's a goat. Debbie the goat. She was a tripod, much like Albie at Woodstock, has passed away. So I'm sad about that. And I'm also sad that I just, while looking, I either knew this and forgot it because it hurt, or I just learned this, or I learned this again, that Dolly the llama has also passed. And that's super sad. She was the only llama there. She was like queen of her thing. There's a Spit Happens bib. I'm not sure if they still have it. I'm sad I don't have it. But I didn't need a bib because I'm an adult and it's for babies. If it was an adult bib, I totally would have gotten it. But I miss those girls. I'm sad I won't be able to see them. I hope Albie's okay. Yeah. Sad about that. But yeah, Woodstock Farm Sanctuary, if you can help them out. They've got new little animals that they need to help. And they've got a new car. So, you know, that's exciting. Help them climb up and do better. Also, Lady Rhea, thank you. I loved your your talk at Evie Florist on 10th. So if you guys want to check her out, she's always up to something very interesting and good. So Lady Rhea, RHEA, look into what she's up to. She did the Enchanted Candle. I think that's everything. Also, the woman whose name I don't know with the rescue, I can't remember, but I think it's Pit Rescues. Just look into that. Give her some love. And Matt, do you have anything you want to share before we get out of here?
Oh, I have a podcast on Spotify. It's called Matt C's Podcast. It's kind of like deep cuts. I might make some new episodes coming up of artists. In the past, it was artists that you've heard of, but songs that you don't know. The ones that I might do coming up is artists that you've never heard of, but they have good songs. So it's always new music. The stuff that I'm gonna do is just it's just uncharted territory, probably. If you feel like listening to something different, it's called Matt C's Podcast on Spotify.
Awesome. And you did say Mr. Mustache is what you would play for Nirvana last week.
Oh, that song is killer. Yeah. Nice. I mean, that's the embodiment of a mosh pit.
Gorgeous. So all of you, please listen to that. Just cuz. And then check out Matt C's podcast. All right. Thank you. Love you. Bye, everybody.
Frank, Matt, thanks for showing up.
Yes. And happy birthday again. Also, thanks again to Zoe Mina for all of the in-betweens and Franklin Gappa for all of the music you heard.